crazy, but that's how it goes. Millions of people living as foes. Maybe it's not too late to learn how to love and forget how to hate. Mental wounds not healing, life's a bitter shame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Folks, we have a red alert situation. I am back. The Renegade is here for a special report. Folks, I have been waiting on this to happen, and I'm admittedly a little late, because the item that I bring to you tonight has been available since June the 10th, and it is an article published on educationweek.org, edweek.org. It is an article by Madeline Will called "The Socially Distanced School Day." And folks, I cannot express to you enough the emotions that bubbled to the surface as I looked through this document. I have had to put on once again, additional staff just to cover the potential for emergency medical services that I may require tonight. I have already pre-positioned the cuff. This one is going to be a ride. Folks, the article that I bring to you, I highly encourage you to look it up. Don't take my word for it. I'm not going to read you the entire thing. It is divided into basically five different categories as to how the socially distanced school day will apparently attempt to function. And basically I will lay it out to you like this. The first section, after somewhat of a preamble, is called safety, and it has a CDC recommended strategy for how to protect students and staff, and it is basically what looks like a flow chart that includes hand washing, masks, social distancing, cleaning, monitor health, and designate a COVID-19 contact. And so there's going to be a COVID-19 official in every building. And folks, this is just kicking off the night. This is this special report that we've been waiting for this type of document and information and guidance to be released, and wow, is it a doozy. This article doesn't go into a ton of deep information. It actually has a deep dive link for each one of these categories, and the next one is the next category is schedules. And this is where it started to blow my mind. Basically, it says limiting exposure and transmission. It says that students stay in the same small group or quote-unquote bubble and remain in a single classroom. If needed, teachers can rotate through the bubbles. So this is CDC guidance. And it even says in the graphic that students would remain in the same small group or bubbles for things like recess. So basically, what we're saying is that students are even. I guess this is all K through 12. The CDC guidance is for students to remain in the same classroom all day, and for teachers to be on the move from room to room. This is absolutely unbelievable. This is amazing. and something that I am struggling to process. I'm sure that you are too. Folks, it says here maintaining 6 feet of social distancing in classrooms, buses, and common areas such as hallways and cafeterias will be nearly impossible if the let's see here, if the entire student body is in the school building at once. It says district and school leaders will have to make significant adjustments to the schedule. Folks, what we have here is the implosion of public education. This is absolutely not going to work. And as we progress, I'm going to continue. You're going to see it for yourself. The next category is students, and they have these fancy graphics. And I like that here they get a little more quantitative. They give some figures, and it has this diagram of a classroom. And I kid you not. Let's see here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 11 desks pictured in this graphic of a classroom. It has a place for the teacher. Everyone in their 6-foot bubbles, and basically. They have a summative number here at the bottom. For an example, 960 square foot, 30 by 32 classroom with furniture. They have the normal capacity of that room as being 31, and the socially distanced capacity as being 12. Folks, the public education system is about to fall apart in front of our eyes. We're going to see a massive train wreck of ridiculous insanity unfold, folks. This is not a drill. This is actually happening. They are attempting to make this work without a major system reboot. We're going to further worsen all of the problems by trying to apply some impossible mandate on schools that already had impossible mandates coming out of their ears, and it is simply not going to work. The article goes on. The next section is building layouts. It says minimizing congestion, and it has a map of an example hallway instead of rooms and things, with arrows designating like one-way directions, and entry and exit points, to stagger student arrival and departure times. Folks, there are going to be multiple tardy bells. There are going to be multiple dismissal bells. The system is about to get so complex, so out of control, that none of us could ever imagine the insanity until it actually begins being unpacked and deployed upon the public servants, the teachers, and the school support staffs and everything. That is just absolutely going to implode. I honestly cannot believe that this is actually published and that I am reading it and looking at these diagrams of how in the world they are going to attempt to make this come together. But the grand finale, the magnum opus of this article, this is just absolutely enough to send someone over the edge, to pull a classic hang glider into the abyss. When you look at the transportation section, folks, of how many students will be permitted to ride school buses, this is just absolutely mind-blowing. I highly recommend looking up this graphic. Look up the article. Again, this one on edweek.org, the socially distanced school day. definitely look at this diagram. How many students can ride on the bus? And they have done us the favor of giving us a double diagram. One bus featuring students without masks. How many can fit on that bus versus how many could fit on a bus that does have the medical or somewhat of a face covering type mask on every student, the entire bus ride. So the numbers, folks, the example bus here has a normal capacity of 56 passengers, 56 school children, and the numbers are, for the bus with masks being deployed, will feature a 50% reduction. This is with masks. A bus that could normally carry 56 students will now be able to carry 28 students with masks. Folks, this is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is absolutely a red alert situation. And folks, the part that will just push us over the falls. This will pack you into a barrel and push you over the falls. We know this is all going to be a train wreck. But folks, the diagram without masks, I'm not joking. Socially distanced capacity, no masks on this bus. It will have a 88% reduction in capacity. A bus that normally holds 56 students, not a drill, not a joke, will without masks on, will now be able to hold 7. Folks, this all, when you take a look at all of these 5 categories, and you look at the situation the world is in, the situation that education is in, I did skip over this. There is another section called Lessons from Overseas. I'm not going to focus on it. Look it up if you want, but it tells about how other countries are dealing with it. But I have a bold prediction, perhaps not so bold. If you see it the way I do, you will agree with me. We are about to see the biggest mass walkout scenario of public servants probably in the history of the country. There is going to be a tsunami of educators that hit the ejection button, that bail out, and because this is not going to work. There could be some good come of having a lower student to teacher ratio. However, I do not believe that will happen, because I know for a fact that there are not enough educators already. Teachers already have far too many students and far too large of a mandate to fulfill for all of those individuals. There are only so many ways this can go, and in order for any of these guidelines to make any sense or to be realistic, there would need to be basically a doubling of the workforce of teachers, and the funding is simply not there, folks. This is not going to work. I see no way that when all things are considered, that any of this could be a positive for the teachers or the students. The only people that this type of nonsense is going to benefit is going to be the elite, who quell the turmoil by patching together some system that just simply is destined to fail. This is not going to work. Put me on record as predicting the largest walkout of teachers and perhaps any public servants in the history of the country over the complete incompetence of both political parties in the United States to implement any kind of meaningful reform to education. How dare they, any of them, pretend that they are fully for properly funding education, because both parties have had ample opportunity to do so over their decades of power, and this, none of this makes any sense. The system needs a complete reboot. It needs to be built by the people for the people, and it just absolutely is. They are attempting to patchwork something together that is simply going to burn. There are going to be record numbers of parents homeschooling. The public education system is dying as we speak, and I'm going to need a blood pressure cuff. To be completely honest, I am honestly going to hit the ejection button for tonight. This has been a special report, red alert situation. Share the video, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, like it, subscribe, and I will catch you all in the next one. This is Renegade Teacher signing off.